Solve another moles question. For this question, the equation of the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide H2O2 aqueous is shown, and the volume and the concentration of the solution of hydrogen peroxide is given. We are supposed to find the mass of oxygen produced as the final answer using the following steps. First, let's calculate the number of moles of hydrogen peroxide used. Moles of hydrogen peroxide used. From the equation, we can see that the volume and the concentration of hydrogen peroxide is given. Let's write it down. The concentration is 0.2 mole per decimeter cube and the volume is 50 centimeter cube. As we know that the units have to be all the same, we will convert the 50 centimeter cube into decimeter cube. So we'll take 50 centimeter cube divided by 1000 to turn it into decimeter cube, which will be 0.05 decimeter cube. Next, let's find the moles of hydrogen peroxide used in this section of the question. So, moles is equal to concentration times volume, thereby 0.2, which is our concentration, multiplied by 0.05 volume. The final answer is equal to 0.01 moles. For the next part of the question, we need to find the number of moles of oxygen produced. For that, we will use the equation and use the mole ratio. So, from the equation, we can see that 2 moles of hydrogen peroxide produced 1 mole of oxygen. And here, we could see that 0.01 moles of hydrogen peroxide was formed. So, using the mole ratio, whatever moles of hydrogen peroxide is produced, half of that would be of oxygen. Half of that would be equal to the number of moles of oxygen produced. Thereby, we will take the number of moles of hydrogen peroxide and divide it by 2 to get 0.005. Next, we need to find the mass of oxygen produced. Let me just write it here. Mass of oxygen. To find the mass, we will use mR multiplied by the number of oxygen. And from the periodic table, we know that the AR of oxygen is 16. AR of the oxygen atom is 16. Thereby, mR of oxygen is equal to 32. Therefore, the mass is equal to 32, which is the mR, multiplied by the number of moles of oxygen, which is 0.005, which is equal to 0.16 grams. 0.16 grams. As you can see, this is a 3-mark question and each step is 1 mark. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below.